I didn't see you there. Make sure to subscribe to the family. Oh, hey guys, I didn't see you there. What was that? Bianca! Make sure to subscribe and join the family. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. For this video in particular, we're kind of going back to the basics. I hope you guys enjoyed my new intro. My old intro will be gone for the remainder of this year, but we'll be back in spring, so say goodbye for now. Today's video is all about changes in American Girl, or, you know, decline in quality. So originally this video was only supposed to be one part. It was supposed to consist of two things that American Girl has changed on purpose, and then also defects that are unintentional, things like messed up eyes and loose limbs and things like that. But after my last video, I asked you guys to comment if you had any stories or any personal experiences with dolls having defects, and I got so many comments that I felt the need to split this into two videos. They'll both be 10 minutes apiece, and today's obviously the first one, which will be things American Girl hasn't intentionally done, and then in the next video will be all of the defects. So I hope you guys enjoy. First and foremost, I just want to have a disclaimer. I am not a hater of American Girl. I know most of you guys know that, but if for some reason you're watching this and you've never seen my channel before, I have a lot of dolls. I have nothing against American Girl. I personally just want to see them succeed, and I have noticed lately that they have been kind of messing with that image they have and not taking it as seriously, and I just want to encourage them to be their best. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so let's change the mood a little bit. I got new lights. We are going to, in honor of Halloween, dim the lights and really just take this channel to a new place for a while. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about is something that I don't always have the most popular opinion on. So this is the necktie versus zip tie debate. Alright, so I'm going to turn them around so you guys can really see, but I want to show you from the front first. So basically, if you guys didn't know, around 2016, American Girl decided to switch to zip ties rather than neck strings, and they did it. No one really quite knows why. I have my own theories and reasons why, but a lot of people believe part of it was to prevent people, or discouraging people, I guess, from customizing dolls, which I don't truly believe, because I think American Girl knows anybody who is that determined to customize their doll will do it anyway and will find a way to get the zip tie out, which we all did very quickly. So I don't think that's the reason why. I think a lot of it was because they didn't want the heads to become loose. And in that aspect, I really do enjoy the zip tie. I think from the front, the heads are typically a lot more secure on the body. There isn't a gap. If you guys can kind of tell with Grace on the left, there's a little bit of a gap because she has a neck string, while Leah does not have a gap because she has a zip tie. I will admit there are some defects and things I have seen I don't like with zip tie, how you can see the outline and how sometimes it looks a little too scrunched up, but I'll show you from the back kind of the appealing side. Alright, so as you can see, Athena on the left has neck strings, while Leah has zip ties. So the obvious thing here is the string hanging down. If you're not somebody that likes that, you're obviously going to prefer the zip ties. So when it has a neck string, you do have to be kind of conscious of where they are. You usually want to tuck it into the clothing, even though I have it over the top of the clothing at the moment. Sometimes it can get in the way if you're brushing their hair, and it can kind of be a nuisance in some situations. However, the zip tie can look a little bit cheap if it's not done well, because it can scrunch up in the back. Sometimes they don't always sew it completely in, and you can definitely tell where the square part of the zip tie is. Quite honestly, I really don't care either way, but, you know, if I really care that much about a certain doll, I can just switch it to the other one. If I like the zip tie, I can add a zip tie. If I don't, I can add a neck string. Not a big deal. Now next up is a choice American Girl made that was so poor that they had to reverse it almost immediately. Let's talk about the forbidden sewn-on underwear. Okay, so here we have one of my custom dolls. She's the only doll I have that has perma panties. The reason being, I don't like them, and I wasn't ordering dolls at the time that they were a thing. Thank goodness. Basically, I'm gonna be honest here, it doesn't really bother me so much on this doll because I don't do much with her. I really only put her in full clothing, and I really don't even do that all often. I just kind of use her as a display doll and for specific videos. However, if this was a doll that I used all the time, I'd be very, very upset that she looked like this. That being said, it did not last very long. Like I said, American Girl had done it for a very short period of time, but I find the interesting thing is that I have seen comments and watched videos of people who said dolls they have ordered recently have still somehow had perma panties, which I don't understand, but that is an issue for part 2. Alright, let's look at it from the back. Alright, so here it is from the back, and I have a pretty good pair honestly, but even then you can kind of see how it pooches at the bottom and it doesn't look normal, which obviously you want a really high quality doll. So this is what they look like. They're kind of weird, they kind of don't go exactly where they should go, and it definitely changes the shape of the body just a little bit. So next we are talking about the body quality and how the fabric has become thinner over the years. So we obviously still have my custom there, but either in front or in back, however you want to think about it, is Mia. So Mia was made in 2008, while this doll was likely made in 2016-2017. As you can see, if you look down the line on Mia's back where her back was sewn together, you can tell that, yeah, you can tell where the seam line is, but you can't see anything underneath it. It's pretty solid. You can tell that the fabric is really thick, that it was made to be durable and last a very long time, and it feels really good. It's a really nice fabric. But then if you look at the custom behind her, there is definitely a shadow of where the fabric was folded over underneath and sewn. You can definitely see the fabric is thinner for the fact that you can tell exactly where it was folded underneath the seam line, and overall it just doesn't feel as nice, and I'll point out where it is on Mia. So right there you can definitely tell that she has just a very clean line, whereas the other one, it's pretty obvious that she does not. So next up, we're going to be talking about defects in the doll's eyes. So to demonstrate this, I have my two most recent dolls from AG. We have Coven on the right and Phoebe on the left / Joss, which I just got. But I'm going to turn up the brightness a little bit so you guys can see their eyes. Lately, American Girl has become known for giving their dolls bad eyes. So they have been giving their dolls eyes that look down at the ground and can't seem to focus on the camera or focus on the person or anything. And pretty much anybody that's been collecting for a long time, when they get a new doll, they look through several boxes in order to find a doll that looks like they're looking at you. Like, that seems really messed up to me. I'm not trying to be biased in this and talk about like a lot of my opinions, but I do think that that seems messed up. And they knew it was messed up because for a long time they had a free eye exchange where you could take your dolls in, send them in, and get their eyes replaced because they weren't looking in the right direction. Now, clearly that didn't just happen overnight. They clearly have new eyes they're using, which is not a great choice. And the last thing I want to talk about today is just the sizing of bodies, which personally hasn't affected me a lot because I don't really care, but I do know that it's something that changed, so I want to address it. So American Girl recently, I think, not even really that recently, probably the last 10 to 15 years, have been slimming down their dolls a little bit. So the older Pleasant Company dolls and early on American Girl, they have kind of thicker bodies. So their clothing is bigger and it just kind of, their bodies are a little bit more fluffy, they have more stuffing. However, the later dolls they've made are definitely slimmer, their clothing is smaller to fit them, so a lot of current clothing will not fit Pleasant Company dolls, which obviously is not ideal, but it's not something that bugs me too much. I know it's probably just a way to save money, which, you know, they do what they do. So that one is not something that bothers me all that much, but I thought I would talk about it anyway. Okay, so that is all I'm going to touch on today as far as things American Girl has intentionally changed about the doll themselves. However, the next video will be very interesting and probably a little bit more, I don't know, controversial, because I'm using comments from things people have left me. Obviously, I have to be careful of what I include because some people could be making stuff up, I have no idea. So take everything that you hear with a grain of salt, but it will definitely be an interesting video nonetheless. I myself have had a lot of issues with dolls as of recently, and quite honestly, I do think it's hurting them. I personally, just alone, have been buying most of my dolls off of eBay in recent years, just due to the fact that I don't really want to deal with having issues, and it's easier to see what you're getting when you buy it on eBay. So other than new dolls that are not able to be found on eBay, that's where I'm shopping. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, as always, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below telling me what you think. If you guys have any issues or interesting information, as always, feel free to leave your stories down below, and subscribe if you haven't already, and join the family because we are growing every day and it's so much fun, and I have so many fun videos planned and a giveaway for 500 subscribers. So yeah, I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye guys!